Like the ghost of someone dear, she comes to haunt me in my sleep. Still unable to sincerely give her heart away for keeps. Pretty girl, why? Pretty girl, why not love me?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming a chit-chatty sewing tutorial maybe. My initial idea was kind of just to sit down and sew and just have a chat update. You know, I didn't want to make a full-on tutorial because I don't know, it's not really my style, but I know a lot of you wanted to see how I sew, what I make. Start off showing you how to make just a little plain little tote bag. I made this for myself a few months ago now and I've just been using it non-stop. And I've found lots of really good fabric from secondhand stores. So I'm gonna make another one today using another lot of really beautiful fabric. I did ask you guys on Instagram to give me some things to talk about. But yeah, we better get started. First of all, this video is gonna be a lot of moving around. So I'll show you my sewing kit. I've just got this like little basket that I put all my sewing stuff inside, any little bits and bobs. Anything that isn't in my drawers up here. I'll show you the fabric I'm going to be using today. I found this amazing like paisley fabric from the secondhand store the other day, which was only $4 for 2 meters, which is really good. This is the fabric we're going to be using today for my new little bag. This was made out of the tablecloth, my current one. I think I will need to redo the straps because they are a bit too thin, so I'm going to keep that in mind when making this one. A lot of you asked on my Instagram what patterns I use. Sometimes I make it up like today, but if I want anything specific, so I've got a dress, skirts and flare pattern, which is what I use the most. I buy them all from secondhand stores. That's the cheapest way to go, as well as you find some really good fabric really cheap. Of course, it's luck of the draw, like you're not always going to get enough fabric to make lots of things, but you just got to keep your eye out. So I just collect fabric until I need to use it because it's so much more affordable in comparison to like Spotlight. Why is my nose so itchy? We're going to cut out the pattern first, which is pretty simple. I'm not sure how I'm going to balance all of this with talking to you guys and showing you, but this fabric's quite see-through, so I'm wondering if I double it up or not. Maybe I double line it. There is enough there. It's not going to be too big of a bag either, so I might double it up, which will make it more durable and thick, just so then if it breaks, well actually, so it won't break. Let's just estimate how big. I winged this little bag and it's been perfect ever since, so I just kind of like base it off there. But actually I'm not sure if we should have enough to double it. No, we might not. No, we should have enough. We'll have enough, I hope. Cool. So I'm gonna cut, always leave at least a good couple inches for when you're sewing and your seam allowance. Just gonna copy the same on this bit here. So we're gonna double it up, so you've got to make sure that the fabric's on the inside out. Very confusing. I'll go through all of this soon when you see me pinning it.
Sitting in a park in Paris, France, reading the news and it sure looks bad. They won't give peace a chance. That was just a dream some of us had.
My new sewing machine, it's a Husqvarna automatic, which is like an old Swedish model from the 60s. I picked it up for like such a good price. It was $50. What I'm going to do first is start off by sewing up these lines together. So turn it inside out for the exterior of the bag. So we're going to do those little tidy things first. I apologize if my instructions aren't very clear. I have a feeling I'm just going to get too distracted by talking to you to give you any proper instructions. But I really want to just start getting into some questions, so I'm going to have a look at what you guys have been asking me. Alright, I've repositioned you guys. I wasn't sure if you wanted to see the sewing machine, if you wanted to see me. Someone said, what do you find your inspo at the moment? I have kind of like, I still love the 60s, 70s, like don't get me wrong. I just realized you probably won't be able to hear me as I sew. I hope you guys can hear me. Lately I have been in love with more 90s bohemian fashion, which is, you know, I've always loved the 90s, but it's never been something that I would go out of my way to like dress like or wear or find clothes from that era. I really hope you guys can hear me right now. Otherwise this whole video would have been a complete flop. Phoebe Buffay from Friends has always been my #1 fashion icon. I'm obsessed with her. Like her character, Friends is just one of my favorite things to watch. I've watched the series over and over and over again. My auntie gave me her full box set just cause, so I mean, but a lot of what she wears, like this skirt I bought from Save Mart the other day, and I was just thinking like I want more like 90s pattern florally skirts. Do you or have you smoked weed in the past? You know what? I think it's just me as a person. When it comes to drugs, I'm completely oblivious. Like I've never taken drugs. I've never, like maybe I've been offered it, but I've never really fully like fathomed. I'm also overly cautious about what I put into my body because my body is very sensitive to anything, like even food. Like it's just, my digestive system is very sensitive. So I'd rather just like be quite plain with what I eat what my body needs, and put what I need into my body rather than forcing things into my system. I don't know, I think it's just me as a person too, and being a Pisces as well. Like Pisces are known to be the drug takers, but I think that's just like me thinking like, I don't know how else to explain it, but when it comes to drugs, I'm just oblivious. Like that's the best word to put it. Like not even aware that that's there as an option or something I could do. I mean, I'm not against it, I'm not anti it, I'm not anything like that. I just really don't care enough. It's not something on my radar. I mean, if one day I decide to, sure. Like weed of course is something that's like there if I want to do it. I'm sure I could, like it's not a big deal. I don't know, it's never come to me to do it. So I just don't have any care or interest for it. I have so many other things. But then again, I'm not a big drinker either. I will drink maybe like once in a blue moon and regret it the next day. Like it's just not something I find fun. I mean, getting a little bit tipsy off some wines is kind of fun. But apart from that, like, nah. It's just not worth it. I hate feeling shit. I hate when my body is under the weather. Cool, so you guys probably didn't see anything of what I just did, but I just sewed around the edges like that, and then we're going to fold it inside out and then sew the outside of it. For this particular little bit, I haven't bothered to change the colors of the things, but when it comes to sewing the actual exterior parts that you will see, I will change the thread to just all white or orange or brown or something that's a lot more, you know, camouflagey. It's also boiling hot in my room right now, so I apologize if I look like a sweaty mess. Talk about strict parents and how to deal with them. Well, you know what? As much as I love to think I'm a free spirit, I grew up with very strict parents. I look at it now in hindsight thinking, no, they weren't that strict. They just did what they needed to do, and I appreciate that they did that for me. I feel like I was limited to a lot of things just because they wouldn't let me, at the same time, I look back and go, it didn't really matter. The fact that they didn't let me go to this party or this, like, it just, like, you're gonna look back when you leave high school and none of it's gonna matter, like, really, like, and I know it's hard at the time, but for me personally, I don't know, I just got through it. One of my best friends in high school, she had quite strict parents as well, so we both kind of got, if one of us couldn't go, most likely the other one couldn't go anyway. So I remember one time we snuck off to Piha to go to a party, and we told our parents we were going to another friend's house for a sleepover. Well, our parents called their mum. She was like, well, they're not here. And so we both got grounded for 2 months, and it sucked, but you know, we felt like rebels. So that was that. And it's funny to look back on now and we weren't naughty. Like honestly, in comparison to a lot of other people I've heard, we got up to very minimal in high school. I mean, we were naughty and we ditched school, we did this and that, but it wasn't like that. Our parents never found out, and it was more just fun. And like, you kind of got to live a little when you're in high school because life's boring otherwise. And like, I look back in high school and I'm glad I did some of those things, because it's like, well, I like to enjoy myself, I like to have a little bit of fun. What's your favorite band? Recently I've just been absolutely obsessed with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Like, I've always loved them. Like, they're always going to be my #1 favorite band. I feel like they're just, their music says so much more to me than a lot of other bands I listen to, mainly because I grew up listening to them. But I've been loving them at the moment all over again. Like, I do yoga listening to them. Like, it's so much fun. As well as I love Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, The Doors. I think they're my favorite. They're always going to be my top favorite. I mean, there's all these other amazing bands as well, but I don't know, they're always the ones I always talk about, my go-tos. So as you can tell, I just lined up the part I've already sewn just to make sure that everything I sew is all the same size. This shouldn't be a big deal because in my other bag, one side is bigger than the other, and when you sew it together, it doesn't really matter too much. And it's all inside out as well, so these will be sewn together. Really pretty fabric, I'm really happy. You guys are so sweet. I get so many lovely messages from you all, and I can't even explain how happy it makes me. Like, even just saying I'm the best and I'm your favorite YouTuber, and I don't consider myself a YouTuber. It's so strange, but I mean, I just do it for fun, and I love chatting to you guys. I love putting content and like connecting, because I know how important it is for me. Like, I love watching YouTubers and feeling like I know them, so it's kind of special. Just wanted to throw that out there. Someone said, I'm starting college and want to make new friends, any advice? And someone also said, how was your high school experience? So I'll tap on those as well. When you're going to university or college, whatever you guys call it, just remember everyone's in the same boat. Like, when I got there, it was so awkward, you have no idea. Like, everyone was just kind of trying to be nice to one another, but at the same time, like, it was just like so strange. And the funny thing is, you've got to be open to anyone. Like, the first girl I kind of sat down with, totally negative, like, just, I don't want to say too much, but not someone I would see myself hanging out with. And funnily enough, I sat down and saw these other two girls that I kind of gravitated to. I kind of really wanted to chat to them. They're just overall really lovely people, and so I did, and they're my uni friends now, and we always catch up, sit down. One thing you do have to like take into consideration, everyone is like doing the same thing. As much as you're going to have your degree in common, you're not going to have every little bit in common. And it's important to welcome anyone into your life regardless of what they are into, their beliefs, anything like that. I mean, me and my uni friends were all very different. You'll find friends no matter what at uni, college. It's not like, everyone is just so much more mature than in high school, I feel like. And if you'll gravitate to the right people, I don't think you should worry too much about it. Just be open to all walks of people. Don't shut yourself off to certain people, because you never really know. But also, if you can sense that someone's toxic and not good for you, like, maybe just trust your instincts. You should be fine with that. But yeah, in high school, I mean, I had an overall okay high school experience. I had lots of different friends, mainly because we just none of us really clicked that well. I mean, my last group of friends, that ended like quite badly, not gonna lie. There's no bad blood between me and most of them. In high school, it was just, I went to an all-girls school. I don't know if you guys know that. So I wasn't exposed to any guys in high school apart from the brother school, which is what my brother goes to, I suppose. Oh, has this run out? Oh, my thread's run out. More tattooing than usual. But yeah, no, high school was fine. I wouldn't want to go back. The friends I've come out of high school with are not really the girls I would hang out with at school. So I mean, that's kind of good in the sense that I was introduced to them in some sort of way. Yes, school was just blah. I got another question asking how to get through high school. You just got to do what you got to do. And I know it's hard with friends, but you've also just got to like be tolerable of other people, because you just don't really want to be that person that is hated at school, because I'm not saying I was one of those people. I kind of just floated. I definitely was a floater at school. Kind of just did whatever I felt like. School was just school. My only advice I would give to anyone is just do what you have to do to pass the year. Like, don't slack off. Enjoy yourself any other time, because once you leave high school, like, trust me, it just gets a lot harder. And when I left school, like, people were so skeptical to hire me because I was so young, had no experience. And so if you're thinking of leaving school, don't do it. You're better to be at school hating it than out of school trying to get a job, save money. It's just not worth it, trust me. I did that last year. I left school and I tried to find a job, and it was so difficult. I really do apologize if all this background noise is annoying people, but oh well. How do you usually practice witchcraft on the daily? I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is something that I've been witnessing on Instagram, and I want everyone to know that, like, just because you see it on Instagram doesn't mean that it's reality. I watch all these really cool spiritual people on YouTube and on Instagram, and they're doing their practice daily, and I'm just thinking to myself, I don't have time to do that. I'm being realistic. Like, I have a life, I just don't have time to do that. It's kind of hard because it makes you feel inferior to these spiritual people who maybe don't have a job, have luck with making their living off YouTube, but that's just not realistic for me. I'm studying, I'm full-time studying, working. I make videos when I can, and at the moment I'm lucky enough to be making videos every week, and I love making videos, so I'm just doing it because I want to do it. It's hard on the daily. I would say I don't really incorporate a lot of spirituality apart from talking about it. I talk about it so much, and I think that my mindset is my spiritual tool as well in itself. Don't feel the need to meditate every day. Don't feel the need, unless you want to. Like, go for it. Like, I applaud people that have the motivation to do that every day, but I realistically don't. Like, I have so many things I want to do in a day. I'm a very active person in the sense that I like to do lots of things, like keep myself really busy, like mostly like jobs or stuff like that, creating things, sewing. Some more spiritual practices you can do on the daily, even just sitting with your crystals, acknowledging your crystal's energy, you know, even just holding them in your hand if you're at home doing something, reading up on your horoscopes. I do that all the time. The best place for horoscopes is Astro Twins, I would say. They give really good daily, weekly, even just doing those and keeping yourself in tune, even just looking at apps like CoStar. CoStar has improved, I must admit. It's actually I'm very impressed by CoStar and what they're doing at the moment. CoStar, time passages, the pattern, being aware, spiritually aware about yourself and your well-being. I think that's an everyday practice in itself. You don't have to be doing the whole shebang every single day. People with lots of time on their hands and not many priorities, like that is their priority. I'm not putting them down for that, but it is very hard to do those things in a day when you've got school to attend to, work, things like that. So someone said, how are you? Let's just talk about me for a bit. Not that I haven't been doing that the whole time. I have just finished off the bag, so I might just sew up the insides. In regards to me, I'm okay. I mean, uni, it's good. I love being in a routine, especially from not being in a routine last year. So me and Jamie trying to make plans to travel, move out next year, hopefully. Really need that to happen, just because for me mentally I just feel like I'm too old to be living at home with my parents. Like, I'm turning 20 next year, and me personally, I need that independence, and like, you know, at the moment I'm good, I'm just steady. It's Mercury retrograde. By the time this video goes up, Mercury will be out of retrograde. It's Leo season. With my fashion specifically, I just want to have all these days I can wear all my clothes and feel good. Like, and right now I'm just like, yesterday I was in bed all day. As much as I loved it, I just felt so lazy. With Mercury retrograde, it's time to rest, but you never know. I think by the end of next week things could change, so you never really know. Okay, so I just sewed at the top of them. They're looking really good. Now all I got to do now is pin them, so they're going to kind of just become more attached, and I will sew them inside out. And I'm also going to start cutting out the straps. How did you learn your pathway in life? Who and what were you meant to be? everyone needs to find their own pathway and their own journey. Everything is definitely a journey. You've got to explore. It's not just going to come to you ready-handed. I think it took me a long time, at times where I knew I was in the right place, but you're never going to stay in the right place for a long time either. Like, you outgrow things, things naturally fade from your life, but things can also come back into your life as well. If we're talking about my journey in life, my path that I'm following, and through YouTube I've definitely adopted maybe a big sisterly role, or a guidance role, a teacher role, maybe you could put it that way, of helping people, especially with astrology. Astrology is my tool that I use to help me get through life. It's very helpful for me. It makes sense to me. It connects with me, and I think through that I've learned through my experiences and explained them on YouTube, told my story, as well as because I love to record key moments in my life. And I think a lot of my videos last year were in regard to my troubles and things I was really struggling with, and I think that helped a lot of people as well, especially because it was something so generic that so many people could connect to. The sense of leaving uni. I was going to be a graphic designer, left uni because it didn't feel right, feeling lost, feeling frustrated, feeling very anxious. I've learned to not have such high expectations of other people, but have high expectations of myself, because I'm the controller. I'm the person that controls my life and who's in it, what happens. If I want something, you know, I'm the one that needs to go and do it. You just have to trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, figure out, like I said, give yourself opportunities and experiences, and things will happen for a reason, but you are in control of that. It sounds all very complicated, but you just gotta trust yourself. It's a very sensual experience within your body. All I've got to do now is pin on the straps. I'm gonna fold our bag inside out so you'll see all the ugly little seams that we've just done on the sewing machine, and then you're gonna sew it so then it's gonna nicely sit there on the inside of the bag. So we're gonna do that really quickly, and then we'll be pretty much all done. Onto the third strap here. So we're almost done, and then once we're done I'll show you. Straps are pretty easy. I think I just showed you how to pin it, and then all you have to do from there is just sew a straight line across it. It's not too hard. All of this I just kind of, you know, I kind of created this little way of making bags. I'm sure there's lots of different ways to make bags, but this is just the way I do it. My auntie showed me how to sew, so she showed me how to sew like a pin cushion, and I learned how to make shorts in primary school. I mean, I regret not taking it in high school. I so wish I did. It wasn't really something on my radar. I was so like keen to just be like a designer art kid, which didn't work out, but that's okay. You guys sent in a lot of questions regarding like my fashion style, and I definitely want to make a whole video disclosing like my style, because I don't think you can define my style. Like, my style is just my style. Like, I put pieces together, and even though I'm inspired by certain people and things, like, it's not really, like, I can't define it. Yeah, I've been wanting to film it for a while, so now that I'm reading all your guys' questions, I'm more wanting to film it. I'm very happy with the way I'm dressing. I just wish I had more places to go. I was really bummed out. I wanted to go to a gig on Friday and I couldn't, because one, no one could go with me. Like, literally all of my friends were away or doing something, busy. Jamie was working, and then in the end I couldn't actually go because I had a toothache and I was sick. So, but anyway, we have finished the tote bag. Oh, look how sweet it is. I'll give you a better look in a moment. So this is the little bag we have made together. I'm very happy because now I've got two little tote bags I can use for uni. This one's this probably wouldn't be able to carry too much because it's quite, the fabric isn't as firm as the other one, but it's still a really pretty bag. And I think I love tote bags and having your own personalized one. Like, it's very hard to find a pretty tote bag. I think it was fun just to sit down and talk to you guys while I made that. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was nice to catch up with you all, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.
Dear, she comes to haunt me in my sleep, still unable to sincerely give her heart away for keeps. Pretty girl, why